So guys, let me talk to you about what Sony has done and how they basically destroyed their own company. Now, not so much destroyed, but let me just say that they're going to have a lot less games on their system compared to Xbox if Xbox decides to not put games like the future Crash Bandicoots, the future I don't even know what other games, Activision Blizzard, I guess like Diablos and things like that. A lot of people play them games. Contrary to popular belief, even though a lot of people complain about it on YouTube, there's a lot of people buying into these games. So let me kind of explain what it is I'm talking about. So right here it says Sony agrees to a 10-year Call of Duty deal with Microsoft. Now, if you remember back when they were trying their darndest, their hardest to stop that company from getting Activision, they did everything in their power to stop it. Everything. And I found it funny that I think it was like around 70%, I could be wrong about that, but 70% of Sony's sales was from Activision titles. Now, they can't buy the company because they're broke compared to Microsoft, which is a much bigger company than Sony as a whole. Well, at least Sony Entertainment aspect of it. I believe there was a military section of Sony. I could be thinking of another company. But anyway, the point is that originally the deal apparently was going to offer Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, and other titles that are part of Activision and Activision Blizzard, and I guess subsidiaries. I don't know how to say the word, but they're going to offer many different games for 10 years onto the system. Keep in mind, 10 years is a very long time. Now, games almost come out every other year, and developers are currently developing things for certain systems. You would think they would take that deal, and in between that time, geez, I don't know, maybe make more first-party games or open new studios that can rival Call of Duty or other games. They didn't do that. Instead, they fought it. There was rumors of them trying to buy FromSoft and other things. I've seen pictures saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 was going to be on PlayStation 5 first. I don't think that part is actually true, because Rockstar wouldn't be out of their mind to do that. That would just be foolish to do that. But regardless, you guys had a sweet deal. They didn't take it. Now, years later, we find out that they finally took the deal, and it turns out it is strictly for Call of Duty and no other game. So I want you to understand how foolish that is. This is the problem when a company thinks that they're bigger than what they are, or they have more pull than what they are. And let me just say this also. I'm not a Sony fan. I had a PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Though the 5s had multiple issues. And that was, what was it? It was around the time when it first came out, and then a year after it came out. I had two of them. Both of them had fan issues. Both of them were overheating. It had tons of issues. I purchased games, and to be honest with you, this is where my bias is coming from. I purchased games that I was never able to play because the system didn't work. And because I pressed purchase on the PlayStation Store, I own it forever, and I have a PlayStation account with games on it that I'm never going to touch. And so far, I have not touched a Sony product, and I promise I never will. Even though I still want a PS3 and a PS4 and they had amazing games, it's the principle. To have such horrible practices. Like right now, I'm a PC player. I have a Switch again. I sold my Steam Deck, but I'm going to get another one, the 512 gigabyte one. I use PC primarily because, if there's a game that has issues, if the developer didn't fix the problems, guess what? I can hit refund and get my money back from the game. Now, I don't play games and just send them back. If they're terrible, I'm taking it back or I'm trading it in. I don't have a problem doing that. But Sony, in my opinion, again, I can't speak for Xbox because I don't buy Xbox games online. And Nintendo Switch, I don't expect anything from them. It's Nintendo. So you know who owns Nintendo, and they're a group of people that are not in any way, shape, or form flexible whatsoever. Not trying to talk badly about anyone, but it is the truth. And Nintendo's Nintendo. And I don't expect anything except for little third-party games, Mario games, Sonic games, things like that. A lot of indie games, and again, I have it because it's easy to carry, detachable Joy-Cons, and I can take it to work. I can play Minecraft and certain games with my wife for cheaper. It's just very simplistic, right? And they have tons of sales. That's one thing Sony doesn't have. Their sales are nothing like Nintendo's. They're nothing like Steam sales. It's just like, it feels like they are purposefully trying to make it more difficult for you, the user, to be able to use their products. And what I mean by that is, I remember they were against cross-platforming at one point. They've been against practically everything, if we're being honest. So when I see this deal, I'm not excited for them. I'm not mad at them. I have no stake in this company whatsoever. But I just find it interesting that after all this time, Xbox then said that they're going to have Call of Duty in the next Nintendo system, which probably means they'll have the next Call of Duty Mobile, Or if the Nintendo system is strong enough, they will have a legitimate Call of Duty made strictly for that system. I'm not mad at that. You notice how even Nintendo, which is plays hardball and stops people from posting basic videos about Mario, and they try to not subsidize, what's the word? They try to monetize everything that everyone does when it comes to their IPs, even if you do the video and talk about it. They're practically thieves, and I have more sympathy for Nintendo than Sony at this point. You had a great deal. It was 10 years. Call of Duty, you still have all your exclusive games. You're not giving up anything. This company has money. They're able to buy certain companies, and I'm not mad at it. And what's going to end up happening, and this is just my opinion, I don't think Starfield is going to be an amazing game. I have hopes for it. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to screw it up. And if that happens, the next Dooms, the next Bethesda games, the next Activision games, the next Call of Duties, the next, what is it? I don't think there's going to be a Diablo in a while. But the point is, the next couple games coming out for these companies are no longer going to be on Sony. They don't have to do it anymore because they accepted this deal. And that's Sony's entirely their fault. Sometimes in life, there are just companies that think they're bigger than what they are. They think that they're, I want to curse so bad, but I'm not going to do that for this channel. You know what? I will. They think they shit don't stink too, and it does. You guys are not as big as you think you are. Yes, you have amazing games like God of War. Y'all have games like, what is it called? Honestly, the Returnals, I'm not sure which games are exclusive to PS5, but they have a lot of games. They had Demon Souls, and even though I think Demon Souls is the worst out of the entire Soulborne series, it was still nice playing a remake like that, which I wasn't able to. I was only able to play up until the first boss because the system kept freezing constantly, but I do remember the entire Demon Souls game. But Elden Ring took care of that. So at the end of the day, I do believe that third-party games are important. I believe first-party games are even more important, and obviously exclusives are absolutely necessary for someone to even consider your system. And when it comes to Xbox, the only reason I stuck by them is because all the controllers, it could be 360 controllers, Xbox One, I have a Series S controller over here. All those controllers work for the Xbox One. They work for PC. They work for the Steam Deck. Everything works together, and that's why it's so convenient to be able to use Xbox products. It's one of the reasons why I stick by them, and it's substantially cheaper than Sony products. They just charge more, and you're honestly not getting more for your money when you have Sony. They're both systems, they're both businesses, and I like the fact that Xbox is finally going to become a contender again because they actually have exclusive access to like Crash Bandicoot and other games. Like imagine I was a kid and Crash Bandicoot was a mascot for this company, and the whole time you didn't even really own them like that. It was like, I guess your deal was over with, you didn't care about the game anymore, and now Xbox has your mascot. It's kind of sad, but funny at the same time. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Personally, I'm not a huge Call of Duty player, but what I will say is that when you look at Sony's sales, and you look at how much Call of Duty takes up on those sales, you do have to understand that that's like over 50% of their sales of their products. As unbelievable as it is for a lot of people, it is true. What I will also say is that 9 times out of 10, if you're being real here, they'll probably strike a new deal within a 10 years time, and they'll be able to get access to other games. They'll just have to cough up a lot of money in order to do that. That won't be surprising. Microsoft is a company here to make money. Even though they're a part of the console wars, I think they're more interested in the monetary gain of making money in the long term than video games itself, as you can see. Because otherwise you wouldn't have crappy games like Redfall and Halo Infinite. But anyway, like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's a good move. Personally, I think the next time Xbox comes out with another system, they're going to actually be a contender. And when they do launch the new Xbox, when it finally does happen, they're going to solidify themselves of having high-end games from developers that will be exclusively on their system and nobody else's. Elder Scrolls 6. They don't have to put that on Sony. Oh, got a new voicemail. Let me go check that. Like and subscribe, guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.